Hanagriff.
Yeah, for some reason or another, you sound a little taller on radio.
Is it live?
From FINBOMB, Sushi Burrito, Poke Ramen. Welcome to the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Charles Hanagriff along with Jimmy. Jordan Kinchin's back in the studio. Kuchi with us on Thursdays. Humans with us on Thursdays. Kenny White with us on Thursdays. We gaze toward the weekend. Happy Halloween, Jimmy.
Happy Halloween. Was it Dale Brown and Nick Saban?
Dale Brown and Nick Saban and my mother-in-law, which
okay.
probably
All
few
right.
people
Okay.
few people know, but makes it easier for me to remember all of those. The early best costume that I saw today on X was Macaulay Culkin win as Joe Burrow, and there's Macaulay. I don't know how old,
Culkin,
the Home Alone kid.
How old is he now? He's not a
40
kid.
something.
Yes,
right.
okay.
No, exactly. He's
He's a Cincinnati guy.
I guess, or it just the way he did the costume, it's not a bad resemblance.
Joey B got that young thing. Yeah.
And he's got the hair. Yeah, I think he got
I got you.
I think you got the hair right. Look, I'll show it to you here. Our audience can't see this, but you can look it up on X. He's got the uniform and the hair.
Well, now that you say, they kind of resemble each other
a little bit. Yeah.
So they're festive over here at the staff over at FINBOMB as well. So Taki and staff over here, so all decked out. Taki's got a spider on her head, and the other girl's dressed up as a witch and looking sharp, Charlie.
Very, very nice. Everybody have fun a little bit with the holiday. I know who's not having fun today. The Yankees. Of all of the baseball I've watched, a defensive implosion in the World Series, I don't think I've ever seen.
Fielding and mental. Huh?
Yeah.
What point did they? Whoever termed fundamentals little things? I love that. Little things, because we this has been a theme. Today's athlete. I mean, how poor the IQ would. I mean, Garrett Cole, get your ass off the mound, and that you see him in spring training. It's the first thing they do.
Yes. So,
I mean, this is
spring training when you're in whatever your first organized baseball was.
Yes.
Okay.
The right side, get over.
Yeah. I do kind of just shake my head at those trying to finish. Well, it was a spin off the ball, and he thought it was going fine. Man, this is
the spin off the ball sort of paralyzed the fielder.
Sure,
that's why
he's staying back.
Yes. But so what if it's a line shot? Get on over.
Right. If it goes foul, go back to the mound and throw
Get
the next
on
pitch.
over. And it's just like about just some guys don't run out. Balls all the time. Sometimes they pull hamstrings or whatever, trying to. But I mean, this is we've all seen those. This doesn't require any talent, effort.
Yeah.
These
show up on time.
I mean, when you don't do and I cannot stand it, the little things, quote unquote, because when you don't do the little things, basics, things that you can control, they become big things.
Absolutely.
I mean, you're gonna outslug everybody. So the Dodgers had the best record in baseball, 98 wins, 98-64. I'm almost positive.
I think they were a game ahead of the Yankees.
98-64. I mean, that's a lot of losses. That's not a high winning percentage. The NFL, you're gonna have a higher winning percentage is the best record.
Right.
So over the course of all that baseball, you don't do the little things, you're gonna become loser. Cleveland would identify with them early and say, man, I love the situational. And I understand when we're swinging for the fences because the home runs with all the salaries are based on. It's not situational baseball. But you saw Mookie Betts, huh? You saw him as soon as he got that sack fly. He knew what the hell he was
pumping his fist going down the first base line.
He knew how important that was.
Yeah.
No, man, I got to get this guy home from third. I have to execute here. One pitch, boom. I did my job. We've seen more emotion out of that situational execution than any home run that he's hit. And he hits a ton. He hits a bunch of them. It's just Garrett Cole, Judge, that's a physical error. It's a fun, but you know how many times, Charlie, he's peaked a little bit at the runner and still caught it.
Every time.
I mean,
this year, every time, first error in the regular season.
No, I'm talking about. But he did peak a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, where's the guy? I mean, that's going to be a really gross base running error. I mean, it's not like he's trying. I mean, I can't tell you how many times he gives a little bit of a peak, but he's so solid for a guy that big to be playing center field anyway. I forget when maybe the Baltimore game he caught one in deep left center. It was a great catch.
Well, he caught one on Freeman at the wall in this series. That was a terrific play
in New York or LA.
Yeah, in New York.
Okay, no, he's more than just okay. We're going to appease him, putting us in. He's pretty damn dependable.
No, he can.
One error all year?
None.
Last night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last night was the first one. And it's a physical error.
The shortstop. The shortstop is he 5'9", 5'10", 180 pounds. I mean, he's doing it because he does all the little things, like the uncharacteristic one. He's at second base and he only gets to third on the ball off the wall.
Yeah.
Because he didn't read it right. It may have cost him a run, but then he bounces back with the grand slam. But he does all little things. He throws that. And then you do all that.
He's a Gold Glove guy.
Volpe?
Yeah, Volpe. He won the Gold Glove last year. He's a finalist. He very well could win it again this year.
Yeah. So that's but the mental and that's a physical error. Do you give him? The ball.
It's the play. I mean, he's so deep in the hole. It's a force at third.
Right.
He doesn't have to make the tag. So it's a much shorter throw than trying to go to first. He's going. His momentum is carrying him in that direction. He's made he's going to the right base.
So it is.
He just bounced the
throw. It might be where that's as easy of a play as trying to make the 6-3 put out to first.
I think it's an easier play.
But at the least. Close.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at the least, it's close or even, let's just say the same. He just doesn't make the play, But the Cole thing, dude, just get over there. Go over there and drop the ball or whatever. You cannot handle the mental. And what do you have to do to field your position? That's one of the few things. What do you have to cover? The only other thing is, Charlie, and even those 11-year-olds, I would get on there behind. I understand you're upset. You just gave up a hit. Get off the mound.
Yeah.
Go back up third or home. Pick it out which one's in play. Get off the mound. So in the same thing, if the ball's hit the right side, go. You're not a spectator.
Right.
Because baseball's boring, okay? It's boring as far as to play because there's so much dead time. It's not as much action. And so you got to keep practice, got to keep these kids, short attention spans. So you make sure that, you have something to do on every play. All nine are moving. So as a pitcher, what do you have? You throw out pitch, get you behind home and cover. Ball to the right side, cover first. And when you give up a hit, get off the mound. What else do you have?
That's it. And you're in Game 5 of the World Series. I saw. I saw a great clip this morning, and this is all about getting your butt off the mound and technique. Okay, Bartolo Colon may have been I'm gonna try to find a nicer word than fat. The fattest pitcher that's ever pitched in the big
physically
league.
challenged.
Physically challenged. Thank you. Bartolo Colon was 280 pounds if he was an ounce. Okay, and they showed a play this morning where Colon gets, and he played into his 40s, where he beats a leadoff man to the bag. Only because, he's never going to win a race with that guy, but he gets off the mound with perfect technique. As soon as the ball is hit, he's moving, and he beat the guy by a step. You are taught to do this, and even if you are physically challenged, you still are going to be able to make the play because that's what your technique has led you to do. If Bartolo Colon can beat a leadoff guy to the base, then you can beat Mookie Betts to the base.
Mookie runs fine, but he never got there. He never tried.
Right.
I mean, the toughest in this series, probably the quickest guy to first base, because it's got to be a left-handed hitter with speed, is Jazz Chisholm. He's probably the quickest to first base. The Dodgers reliever beat him over there, for the play.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 5-0. 5-0 if he gets over and covers first base. Instead of 5-5.
Yeah, the whole thing imploded on him.
And well, I mean, he thought maybe the next guy was an easy out, huh?
The guy Freddie Freeman.
I mean,
he only drove in 12 in the series.
I mean, with that guy on deck, I'm running like Carl Lewis to first base.
One of the all-time great World Series performances. Swung the series in Game 1 with the first ever walk-off grand slam,
and of course he delivers with the
two-run single,
run single with 2 outs, which set up, forget the guy's name, the left fielder for the Dodgers.
Oh, Hernandez.
Yeah, Teoscar Hernandez with the 2-run double. Yeah, so I mean, of course. And this is the thing, and I even text Henry Hayes and watch the Dodgers a lot, okay? They're an interesting team because they started off the season with who's going to pitch? I mean, who's going to pitch? And during the season, they only lost more pitching. I mean, it was slugfest after slug. But, man, and a lot of teams would give up that walk, that error, and we give them the extra outs, however they would get their extra outs. And most times it costs you a run or 2, maybe even 3. Bro, they put up 5 or 6.
Yeah.
When you gave them, it just like last night, it wasn't just 1 or 2 runs. It's 4, 5, or 6. And I'm talking every time, Charlie, that lineup would make you pay.
It was like the baseball gods who have a wicked sense of humor. Like, okay, you ain't gonna cover first base. Watch this.
Oh,
watch this.
But you just can't. I mean, control what you can control, and whether it's I mean, this is little league stuff, but they're scared to coach, and I think the biggest thing is they're scared to coach some of the more talented players. I mean, the right fielder, right fielder, balls hit the left side. Get over and cover, the backup throw.
Mm-hmm.
First base. Move on. You're doing something on every play. Ball. I mean, so everybody's moving. That's what you want. I mean, at the lowest of levels, it's. I mean, how can a guy that's getting paid that much money?
Well, we have to cut him some slack because he's only making $36 million a year. I mean, they want you to pitch and cover first base and field
it's
your
the
position.
first thing you do in spring training. Yeah. The first thing you do. You seen those pictures? They show it, and they're all covering first base.
Yeah, they all hate it. I mean, they over and over and over again. They used to complain about how Billy Martin would just run them until they couldn't go anyway. Repetition. But that's why he was a successful
Let's
guy.
face it, the best team won. The best team won, and the National League was tougher than the American League this year. I said it yesterday, and all due respect to my buddy Roscoe, and he'd be calling me a nega guardian today. But Cleveland was overachieving because they did all the little things, because they didn't mind.
They should be applauded for that.
Yes, that's why they had the great year and it got to the league championship series, because they did all those things.
Yeah.
Remember, I said, I want these guys to win a division. I love the way they play. It's refreshing. And so, but San Diego, man, to come back and having to win down 2-1, 2 elimination games against that team. Remember, they had to throw a bullpen game in Game 4 at Petco. I mean, compared to Kansas City, way before their time, they might evolve into something. But they couldn't score a run, and they backed into the playoffs because the Twins were so bad down the stretch, and the Guardians were overachievers. It's not. I mean, the Mets knocked out the Phillies, and then the Phillies, Padres, Mets. I mean, that's
the Mets were the hottest team in baseball
since this All-Star break. Yeah. I mean, or them and the Padres. I mean, it was neck and neck. It was just much, much lighter in the American League this year. It just worked out that way.
Baseball season comes to an end. Dodgers win the world title, and Freddie Freeman in one of the easiest MVP votes of all time wins the MVP of the series.
FINBOMB, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen. We provide the fresh, and you provide everything else. So you come in, and so it's a sushi burrito. That's right. Instead of a piece of sushi, it is rolled up and it's cut like a burrito. And we've got the specialty ones, and then you can kind of create your own. I would suggest going with a specialty one, and then just kind of adjusting along the way. I like this a little bit, leave this off, add this, extra this, that kind of stuff. So, the poke bowls, the tuna, the salmon, the shrimp, the scallops, you name it. We've got fresh stuff. It's good. It's really good. And it's light. So, man, it is a really, really good stuff. And we're about that time where it's about to get colder. That's more ramen season, the hot bowl of ramen. And you can get your ramen with the 3 different temperature levels, mild, medium, or spicy. Combine the different broths that we have over here. So it's really good stuff, man. A lot of these are around the country. So sushi, burrito, poke, or ramen, whatever it is, FINBOMB over here next to Rouse's, right next to Future John, we should call him, huh?
Yeah.
Future John?
Future John?
Yeah, the cart boy.
Yeah.
Me and T-Bob's buddy. This is because this is my grocery store.
His name's Mike.
It's John.
This is okay. I was introduced to him as Mike. Okay, whatever. Nice guy.
No, he but y'all do the pregame.
Pregame right there. Yeah.
T-Bob does some different stuff.
Friday remotes.
We're right next to that Rouse's over here in Burbank. So John, Mike, whatever. That's my guy. He walks me. He follows me through the store. We do shopping together.
Michael John.
I'm not alone, Charlie.
He's a nice kid. Live at FINBOMB, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
I will love you.
Legacy in concert.
Last forever. I'll do anything for you.
Saturday, November 30th. Beau Rivage Theater. Legacy.
Don't sell me no dream.
Tickets are on sale now at beaurivage.com. Don't miss Legacy. Schedule subject to change. Some restrictions may apply.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Dozy Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze. For the perfect blend of sweet and spicy, you can't go wrong also with the flash-fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
Celebrate International Games Day by getting your game on at the main library on Goodwood, Saturday, November 16th, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Bring the whole family to this all-ages free event and see how many different games you can play in one day. Play card games or life-size games to a board game before switching to a VR headset. Then you can join a tabletop game session and connect with local gaming resources and more. Come to the library for some fun and friendly competition. Learn more at ebrpl.com/gameon.
Electric Man of Baton Rouge is here to help with 24/7 residential and commercial electrical services. With years of experience, Electric Man aims to deliver fast and dedicated electrical services without compromising safety, quality, and integrity. Licensed and insured professionals to do the job for you worry-free. Electric Man offers guaranteed appointment times and free estimates, offering veteran and senior discounts also. Find Electric Man at electricmanbatonrouge.com to schedule your guaranteed appointment time. electricmanbatonrouge.com, 225-800-7065.
Football season is back. It is a great time to discover Don Juan Cigar Bar. Top shelf liquor, craft beer, premium cigars, and plenty of TVs to watch every game on your football Saturdays, Sundays, or any day of the week just to relax. Don Juan is also the home for whiskey and wine, so join me and T-Bob after every LSU football game at Don Juan Cigar Bar in Town Center in Baton Rouge.
Have you been arrested or even issued a traffic ticket? Everyone makes mistakes. Hi, I'm Dana Brown from the law offices of O.C. Brown. If you find yourself in an unfortunate situation with the law, call us today and we can help you resolve your problem, whether it's just a traffic matter or something more serious. No criminal matter is too big or too small for us to aggressively and effectively represent you. Before making any decisions, call us at 225-343-1111 for your free consultation. You can also visit us at ocbrown.com. The law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
This is Chuck Oliver. Listen to me as we talk college football all year long, weeknights at 6 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. It's brought to you locally by Louisiana Turf Company. Visit them at louisianaturf.com.
This is Will Campbell with the Tigers. Louisiana National Bank is committing to making every interaction with its customers an experience that's more exceptional than any you've ever encountered. If you're looking for a teammate to help you achieve your financial dreams, come see one of the Louisiana National Bank's uncommon bankers. Equal housing lender. Member FDIC.
Did you know most homes don't have adequate insulation? This means higher electricity bills. Capital City Comfort can come and inspect your home for any spots that need extra insulation. Get ready for Louisiana weather with Capital City Comfort. Online at capitalcitycomfort-br.com.
Hi, this is Jake and James of Trash Rangers of Louisiana. Have a question, a problem, call us. We answer the phone. 225-363-9053.
Looking for a tax deduction? Think about donating your car, boat, or RV to St. Vincent de Paul. Visit svdpbr.org.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from FINBOMB. Sushi, burrito, poke, ramen on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
The show's available on demand, the new LouisianaSports.net. Lots of content there, plus 1045ESPN.com. Handycast up on YouTube. Dropped a new episode with the A&M film on Monday. Jimmy, the NFL trade deadline is on next week, and teams have got to decide whether they are going to make a move. We've already seen a number of moves with teams that are trying to pick up an extra piece and give them a move. ESPN did a deal today with 12 teams that there was a question whether they should make a move and add somebody, make a move and get rid of somebody, maybe, pick up some draft capital or something like that. That list of teams I thought was pretty easy to separate into sections. But I want to get, and you could just give me a quick yes or no. Does this team have a chance to make a run to the playoffs, or even deeper into the playoffs? The Bengals.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
I let out with the toughest one.
That's a tough one. I would say no, but as long as you got Joe Burrow in his prime, you would think so. But man, I don't think it's going to get any better till they make a move at coach. They've given up on their running game. They're one-dimensional. I mean, there's so much pressure on Burrow, with the lack of running game. They got gadget backs in there as their feature backs. Their defense, I mean, he just has no room for error. Yeah. And I've never been a big on Zach Taylor. So that's a pass, Charlie. I mean, because when you got him, you got a chance.
Well, here's the deal.
But they're not one player away from making a run in the playoffs.
No, they're not. No. But here's the decision that you have to make if you're Cincinnati is: do you want to try to move T. Higgins? Okay,
you do. They're not going to re-sign him.
They're not going to re-sign him.
They're going to give Chase some money. That's they
don't have enough money to re-sign him, and with him on the field this year, they have the best expected points per play in the league in when he's played, and when he doesn't play, they're 27th. He has been I don't know if it's all him or if him being on the field opens things up for other guys. But
opposing defenses have something to do with this equation too.
Sure. I think that's a tough one. I don't know what they could get for Higgins, but if you trade Higgins,
that's $1 million question. With all this we were talking about, it's just what are people offering you?
Here's your favorite team, the Denver Broncos.
No, bone nicks. They're exceeding expectations. They're done with the light part of their schedule. Now it gets tougher. They're still going to be 50-50 whether they have a winning season or not, much less make the playoffs. They'll be close. Looks like those first 6 spots in the AFC are going to be tough for, to keep out of. Then you got teams like Denver, Cincinnati, and some others that are trying to go for that 7th spot. But no. This this Bo Nix thing is it's moving in the right direction. Okay, he's getting better. He's had 50 starts, but man, it is very so. They are not even close to being ready to making any type of run.
You know where they're better is they're better on defense. From a year ago to now, they have come a long way. This was just last September. They gave up 70 points to the Dolphins. This year, they're allowing a league low yards per pass attempt, and of course, Surtain helps with that. But I'm kind of with you. Their wins are against the Panthers, the Saints, the Jets, the Raiders. They have one what I would call real good win this year. That's against the Bucs on the road. Speaking of the Bucs, they're in the driver's seat in the NFC South.
Atlanta is.
They got. I'm sorry, Atlanta's got all the tiebreakers. I screwed that up.
And a lead.
The Bucs are a game behind them and a tiebreaker behind them. They're without two wide receivers. You pick up a wide receiver at the break, you still got a chance to win the division. Atlanta's got the lead, but they're not allowed.
If you say so. No.
Should subtract.
No.
All right, Colts. You changed quarterbacks. No. Nothing there. Cowboys.
And the Colts are one of those teams with Cincinnati, and they could make the playoffs, but it'd be like last year with Flacco winning. Flacco is such the better option to win games right now, but he's not ready to make a run in the playoffs.
No.
And their defense is really and Buckner's healthy right now, but man, he's hurt more than he is healthy. And the same thing with Taylor. Taylor and Buckner are so impactful to this one. This is a 500 type of team. It could be a 500, but they're not making a run.
No, I think there's some benefit to young teams that haven't had success making the playoffs. Even if you know they're going to lose, they can't make a run like the Texans last year. Give them a taste, and then they end up winning a game. Okay, that experience is invaluable for a young quarterback. Get up there, take your lumps, and then the next time you go, you'll be better. The Colts aren't in that position. Miami, now that Tua's back.
No.
Defense, not there.
And they have to travel during the playoffs. And, we it's not going to be as cold as it was in Arrowhead all the time, but it's going to be cold. And we've seen him in the cold. And look, he looked better. And I couldn't – and I slighted Tua a little bit. But, Charlie, it is not as celebrated as a Kalen DeBoer substitute teacher element to a lack of discipline. But Vic Fangio is pretty damn respected defense coordinator. They had him because he was too hard on him. We talked about Brian Flores. He was too hard on him.
Yeah.
And so, everything is, and then, at the end of games with their physicality is so bad. And they just, they got the analytic guy who's going to be nice to him and pat him on the rear end no matter what. And just won't get after him. It's still football. It's still there's a level of physicality. It's very important. They don't have it.
I might feel differently if they weren't in such a big hole, but they're 2-5. Cowboys.
2-5. Yes, they got no shot of making it.
Cowboys.
No, you got to try when you're the Cowboys because all of their guys they're not getting any younger. A year or two from now is going to be even tougher. The way they're kind of star heavy with their budget, and Dak is. How many years? It's for better or for worse. All these guys. They got to make a run. If you got a healthy Micah Parsons,
he's coming back.
CeeDee Lamb, and Dak. No, you got to try for now, even when it doesn't look real good.
Yeah. Can I read you what they said about the Saints? I think they just copy pasted it from the last 5 years.
The Saints, they're in this discussion.
They're in this discussion.
No,
yeah.
Come on,
But no, there's some humor here, Jimmy.
Okay, all right, yeah, please.
It says the Saints should subtract at the deadline, but will likely stay put. They just copy paste that every year.
Blackman said he don't like 8-8, baby. Back in that town, now it's 9-8, 8-9.
Right.
Lose them all. That's gonna be tough to lose this weekend. Lose them all.
Go Panthers.
Yeah.
They'd be better off because they have to be beat over the head to understand this. Mickey Loomis was on the radio again last night. We've had some injuries. No kidding.
That guy needs to stay away from the microphone.
He said, I talk to Gail Benson every day. She's very concerned. That's fantastic. If she's really concerned, she'd fire you.
Yes.
because you have outlived your usefulness as the general manager.
And we love Miss Gale, but sorry, Miss Gale, if you don't have, I mean, you can keep him in the will, the whole thing, but he's got to go.
And I think she does want to win. I don't think she's an absentee owner, but she put too much faith in him.
Well, and that's fine because he deserved it, because he was part of a great run.
Yes.
But
it's
over.
Yeah.
It's over. Don't forget our friends over at United Community Bank, the local way to bank big, with locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow, including their newest branch at Burbank and Bluebonnet. The local way to a bank big. Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. A great team of bankers: Prentice Wilkes, Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, and David Henry. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Live at FinBomb, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Make LeBear's Baton Rouge your game day headquarters this season. They've got the biggest screens around, and now you can bet and dine at ESPN Bet in person. Plus, sign up today for Cover 5's SEC contest. Go to the Cover 5 app, click on Join a League, and enter the code LABRSEC24. Pick each SEC game that week, play against your friends, and enter to win weekly and season-long prizes. Not a member? Get the Pin Play app today. LeBear's Baton Rouge, your live sports headquarters. Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966 for help. Before every game, you're reminded that Tiger Stadium is a pantheon of concrete and steel. When it was time to add upper decks, do you know where that concrete came from? It's Louisiana Concrete Products. Whether it's the next Gulf hurricane or Death Valley earthquake, you can trust Louisiana Concrete Products.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Looking for an exciting career? Guarantee Media is hiring. Go to guaranteemedia.com to see open positions and apply today. Guarantee Media is an equal opportunity employer. guaranteemedia.com.
Water is water, right? Not when it's Evermore. Smooth tasting Evermore water is Mother Nature's masterpiece. Evermore is natural artesian water. Maybe you want a healthier lifestyle, a high-end athlete who wants better hydration, or a parent who wants something healthier for their kids. You want Evermore. EVAMOR. Evermore. Available at great local retailers.
Are you looking for a change in your Volvo service? At Vex European, we're committed to offering expert maintenance and repair tailored to your Volvo. With quick service, fair pricing, and a personal touch, we're here to make this as stress-free as possible. Visit VexEuropean.com today to book your appointment.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, Big Cheesy Lou, and those Louis Original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
The Pierre Part Store, and now the Thibodeau Store, your local experts in construction supplies. You know, they can handle your contractor supplies for all jobs, big and small. The extensive selection of plumbing, electrical, and hardware supplies are endless, and they can even deliver it to your job site. If you need lumber, no problem. Available for pickup and delivery from Pierre Part. Top-notch tools and expert advice. It's local service. From the Thibodeau Store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau, and online at thibodeaustore.com.
Save tonight at the Greater Baton Rouge State Fair. It's buy one wristband, get one free on the Midway. Over 40 thrilling rides at the Greater Baton Rouge State Fair at Breck Fairgrounds on Airline Highway. GBRSF.com.
Hi, this is Jake and James of Trash Rangers of Louisiana. If you switch your residential or commercial trash pickup to us, we promise to never sell your trash to the paparazzi. Seriously,
Brandon Ollie here. You want a company that has a true lifetime warranty? ReliefWindows.com, baby.
It's time. It's now Colucci time. Dwayne Colucci is back to give his best picks on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Colucci time, baby. Breeders' Cup time. What's up, Colucci?
What's going on, Mr. Odd? How you guys doing out there?
Doing good. Yeah, I see you at the South Point. Y'all did a little Breeders' Cup seminar. Share what you got going on.
Yeah, we were definitely trying to give out some winners. You know, myself, Chris Andrews, Vinny Maiulo, Ralph Sirocco was the host. We had John Lindo there, Jonathan Hardoon from the Sheets. Just a bunch of, handicappers trying to find their way. So we're looking for some winners both on Friday and Saturday. Naturally, the Classic is the big race. Everybody's enamored with that race. Very tough race. You have a foreign horse, City of Troy. That's the favorite, Jimmy, who's, never run on a dirt course. So when you're seeing a 5-2 favorite on a horse that never ran in the world's biggest stage, on the dirt, that becomes very difficult to handicap because it makes you second guess how good this horse really is. I haven't picked this horse all year, but I kind of like Sierra Leone coming into the race. And the price is going to be way better than you've seen in the Jim Dandy, the Travers, the Derby. But, Chad Brown has this horse in peak condition. You have Flavian Pratt, who is definitely one of the top 3 riders in the country, if not top 2. He and Irad Ortiz, dominated this year. And Pratt was especially effective on the big money stage. So, you're definitely getting one of the best riders in the world to control this horse. It looks like he's grown and matured and is really taking to the Del Mar course, and is going to definitely, in my opinion, be one of the tougher horses to beat on the card just because I think he'll have a favorable position, Jimmy. I mean, he's going to be sitting in the garden spot behind a ton of speed. You also have the Japanese presence, whether it's Osha Tesoro, Forever Young, who was right in between. You remember that Kentucky Derby got roughed up a little by Sierra Leone, it's going to be an interesting class.
12-1 morning line for Sierra Leone in the Breeders' Cup Classic. Plenty of races Friday and Saturday. Give us a few more that you really like at this point.
Yeah, definitely. And on Saturday, race 5, the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint. I'm looking at 2 house horses here, Jimmy. Motorius, who is trained by the fabulous Phil D'Amato, who is just, an amazing trainer all across the country. He's starting to spread out now, not just the Southern California area. He, won a ton of stake races at this Del Mar summer meet. This horse won over the Del Mar course, a 5-furlong stake race in the summer. So this horse is definitely acclimated with the Del Mar turf course, and that's very, very important. Also in that race, I'm going to box him with number 5, AG Bullet. Richard Bolt is starting to come back into the game after a training suspension. He's one of the top conditioners in the United States. And, I just believe he got a bum rap by the Southern Cal Racing Board when he was suspended for about a year. But he's come back full force now, and this horse is a perfect example. This is another horse that won over the Del Mar race course, produced an amazing run, at Kentucky Downs, winning a big race as well. So that was very important that, you could always, focus in on winning over multiple race courses, not just, the Del Mar Surface or the Belmont Surface. This horse went across the country and won at Kentucky Downs. Then he followed it up with he got caught at a mile. He stretched out a little at Keeneland. So, I think the shortening of distance is definitely going to put this horse in the right position. And naturally, you're going to have to do a try box with Cockburn, who is one of Irad Ortiz's best horses. This horse is a champion turf sprinter and is definitely going to take some beating. Race 7.
Hold on, Colucci, before you go. All right, who is this? Who is the pick now? We know you're hooking it up with number 9, Cogburn.
I'm going to box. I'm going to box the 2 and the 5 in race 5. Those are the 2 strong picks.
Okay, Motorius
and AG Bullet.
Yeah, and AG Bullet.
Right.
Okay, and then you're putting
and
Cogburn
then in
there.
Box, you throw Irad underneath with Cogburn, the 9 horse.
Gotcha. Okay, all right. Next race that you like?
The race 7, just giving you a pick in the turf because it's such a monstrous race. The 11, Rebels Romance, I kind of like him. He's won the Breeders' Cup turf in the past. Definitely going to take some beating. This is an international field, very tough to handicap, but I think this horse, should be the morning line favorite and the post time favorite, and it'll definitely be tough to beat. In the 9th race now, we move on to the Philly Mare Turf, which is, a very hotly contested race. You have several familiar faces in this race. I'm going with the 2, Full Count Felicia, Irad Ortiz. I think this horse is definitely coming into the race beautifully and, coming off of 2 wire-to-wire victories, which is very important in this race. I believe that speed will be the telling tale in this race, guys. I don't think this is just a race where everybody's going to run to the front. This is a race that I believe is void of speed, and Irad Ortiz can control the pace. This horse is trained by Kevin Attard. He is a Canadian conditioner. This horse has 2 wins in a row over the Woodbine Turf course. And I'm going to back him up with the 3-horse Cinderella's Dream. Charles Appleby, one of the best international conditioners, as well as here in the United States. He always seems to, send his horses into favorable positions and has taken several of these big turf races. So Charles Appleby, one of the top conditioners in the world. You get William Buick. He's been in so many Breeders' Cups. He knows exactly what to do. And this horse, we're looking at, I believe, a 4-1 morning line. I think that the 4-horse Warlike God is a bad favorite in this position. That's why I think you're going to get probably on the 2-horse there with Irad Ortiz anywhere from 8 to 6-1. I think Cinderella's Dream might actually be co-favorite with Warlike Goddess. So, I definitely think that those 2 have a great upset chance over Warlike Goddess. I'm going to key to 2, Full Count Felicia, back him up with number 3, Cinderella's Dream. Probably do an exacta box there.
There you go. Full Count
Moving on to the
Felicia.
Breeders' Cup Sprint.
Okay.
One more pick, just the Breeders' Cup Sprint, number 1, Raging Torrent. I went on a tirade last week on the show about how the Chosen Brahm was scratched by the Breeders' Cup stewards, not even the California stewards. They bring in certain veterinarians and stewards that go over the horses. And I know the Chosen Brahm's connections. This horse has been the best. I mean, a consummate professional throughout this season. And, just for them to say he wasn't right and that he wasn't sound, that was ludicrous. So we're going to take the 1, Raging Torrent, who actually beat the Chosen Brahm at Del Mar, in one of the last races of the season over the holiday Labor Day weekend. Raging Torrent, the 1-horse. We're going to go with him in the spring.
All right. When I was at Del Mar this past summer, man, the track bias was unbelievable. I mean, look, at the turn, they've got a little it's a little Modella type of area where they're going to do private parties. They do different, the beer festival and things like that. And basically, whoever had, when you cross the Modelo thing, just past the turn, the final turn, I mean, whoever was leading there won at the end. I mean, on a lot of these, with the change in the calendar being a little bit deeper, Dwayne, how much will that adjust it, or do we need to kind of monitor some of the other races beforehand?
Yeah, I would definitely monitor beforehand, Jimmy. There's always talk about how the tide affects the racetrack over at Del Mar, high tide, low tide, different points of the season. But, a lot of these foreign horses seem to be getting around the course very well. I think it's more of a question when the foreign horses run on the dirt surface because they're not used to it, how they take to it.
Right.
You have to be very perceptive on how their workouts are. And that becomes very, very important when you're dealing with handicapping the Breeders' Cup. The turf, they've won on this course before. They seem to get it around it very well. I mean, you saw the Japanese horse ran very well against White Barrio in last year's Breeders' Cup Classic, and that was at Santa Anita, which is like a lightning strip. So, I definitely think you have to pay attention to the workouts and prior races, see if it's a speed favoring turf course, if it's a speed favoring dirt course, that would definitely enhance the odds of the front runners. But if they start to collapse, the speed horses, these deep closers will be coming from the clouds. Some of those foreign horses even come from the clouds on the turf and are still able to do it. But remember, it's tight turns. 14 is the max that you could get on the dirt course, and that's extreme if you're breaking from that 14 hole, which next one of the favorites in the Breeders' Cup Classic will be faced with. So you have to pay attention to the prior races on the cards. That's what the Friday card is. It's tough, though, because you have a lot of juveniles running on that Friday card, and a lot of those horses are not mature enough to handle or are just green. So, you have to pay attention. Do your homework. Look at these morning workout shows that FanDuel provides, FanDuel TV, HRTV, whatever, you're looking at. Definitely try and use social media as well and YouTube to look at these workouts, because it's very important for the foreigners to get acclimated with the Del Mar surface, whether it's dirt or turf.
Yeah, it was unreal. I mean, on the dirt last year with the speed bias this past summer, rather. All right, 2-1 winning week again last week. Anything? Got seven games on the ice tonight. Have you looked at any?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Hockey is the bread and butter. 2-1 last week. Almost swept the board. I can't believe that we lost that other game. But we had 3 goals in that situation and 2 K-Poles. So that's always a good feeling. Now we're back to a matchup, I believe, that we've handicapped before, Edmonton and Nashville. I just can't understand these Oilers. Constantly favorites, still 4-5-1. Can't get out of their own way. Always starting slow. Nashville, though, has started very slow as well. I'll be honest with you. I thought Stamkos, Marchessault would be lighting it up. It just isn't playing out like that. Saros is off to a slow start. Nashville, though, now is in the favorite position at 125 at the Rampart South Point. We're to take Nashville tonight. They're going to stick it to Edmonton. Edmonton has had a long road trip. I mean, they bailed out of a game against Detroit and then got manhandled the other night by Columbus, who is the worst team in the NHL. I mean, I think they lost 6-1, guys. So Edmonton is not righted the ship as of yet. They're not this juggernaut that has been perceived as the Stanley Cup favorite. So let's definitely keep an eye on that. Now, here's a line read, guys, tonight. Toronto is 2-1 against the Kraken. The Kraken went into Montreal the other night, which had to be a massively favorable matchup for Seattle. Their lines match up well against Montreal. Seattle was minus 170 in the Bell Center. Now Toronto is 2-1 against Seattle. Let's lay the 1.5 with the Maple Leafs tonight. Bring the Kraken right back down to earth. That's going to be a strong victory for the Maple Leafs tonight. I mean, the Kraken, they still must be celebrating scoring 8 goals against Montreal. That was like a sieve. I think Montebello would have put in a beach ball he would have let in the other night in the Bell Center for Montreal. It was just one of the worst, performances that I've seen by the Canadians in several years. But I think Toronto will get the job done. I'll lay the puck line on that. We're going 2 favorites tonight, Maple Leafs and the Predators.
But Toronto minus 1.5 is plus 120 at our local shop here at the Queen.
2-1 on the money line. I was talking the base money line, but
yeah,
we'll get a plus, yes, on the puck line.
Yeah, mine up to minus 205 now, so that might even creep up early. And Nashville minus 130, a slight. What's your plans for Breeders' Cup tomorrow and Saturday?
No, working my butt off, guys. I mean, we had the beautiful seminar out at South Point. It was just so much fun. Traveling around this whole week, doing a lot of media spots, social media spots, podcasts, and, we just have a full slate. I'll be here at the Rampart Casino waiting on my fabulous guests, just the best in the world. And so many people from Baton Rouge have come up to me, a beautiful couple last week, came up to me. They're like, we listen to you all the time. We love Jimmy Ott. We love Charlie. We just love ESPN out there in Baton Rouge, and you guys have brought me so much business that it's beautiful. So I really
let me correct you. They love Charlie. Trust me, they don't like me. Okay, all right. So look, I'm the villain on this show. I wear the black hat proudly. So man, this is good stuff, man. Del Mar Breeders' Cup. Some of my traveling partners have been with me to opening day, man. I've got to do it. It's right in the middle of football season. Maybe when I get a little bit more help on the show, I'll be able to take a little time off and go to the Breeders' Cup one year.
Yeah, the good guys will have to pull a slack out in those days.
Yeah, let Charlie pull it off.
I mean, I never, ever get to take a day or two off. Never, ever. Not even in the summertime.
Tell him about your tennis trip.
Kuchi. Follow Dwayne on Twitter at NYBookie Dwayne, my man, Kaluch, man, I love it. Hey, hope you hit some big. Let's hit one just like we did on that Saratoga opening day. Huh? How about that? Pow! What was the name of that horse again?
Yeah, we do some of that.
What was the name of that horse again?
The Great MB. The
Yes,
Great MB,
yes,
something like that.
yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, that one lit up the board, $100. So we're looking for Breeders' Cup is capable, guys. You hit
Oh,
it
yes.
dry in that Breeders' Cup. We hit that Breeders' Cup turf sprint. That thing will pay monster.
There you go. Good luck, Kaluch. We'll talk to you next week. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
All right. Don't forget my friends over at electricmanbatonrouge.com. We told you over and over that electrical work is not do-it-yourself, figure it yourself out type of work. That's why we have Bo Wegman over here to hooking up the equipment for Charlie. We don't want Charlie getting electrocuted over here. 372-5356, 372-5356. Licensed and insured. Quality service guaranteed. Quick repairs to full installations. You can go online at electricmanbatonrouge.com and request a quote. We can get you started right off the tube. Insulations, lighting, electrical safety. I mean, whatever it is, available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Emergencies don't pick a time to trouble you, so we work on nights, weekends, and even holidays as well. Get a fast estimate, call Electric Man. We'll give you a fast estimate depending on what you need. Transparent service is what you need, and that's why we'll walk you through every penny that you shell out. ElectricManBatonRouge.com, 372-5356.
Live at FinBomb, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Yo, Jake and T-Bob here. We've been talking about the All-Star Toyota rentals for a while, so during vacation season, we wanted to remind you about them.
That's right. All-Star Toyota has daily, weekly, and monthly rentals with flexible plans and competitive rates that blow the other places out of the water. In fact, you can rent a new Toyota for as little as $60 a day. These rentals are perfect for out-of-town trips, for business, or pleasure.
All-Star Toyota, located on Airline at Goodwood. Check out their website at allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com/rental. People you know, cars you trust. All-Star Toyota.
Sid Edwards wants your vote, but his voting record? Pure hypocrisy. He skipped voting in 27 elections and didn't bother showing up when we needed him most. Yet now he's asking for our trust. For 8 years, Sid Edwards didn't vote to keep us safe. He's been MIA when our community needed him, but suddenly he's ready to lead it? Don't buy it. Sid Edwards is a zero for our communities. Paid for by Louisiana Government Accountability Coalition.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
This is Charles Hanagriff for Supreme Rice. We always ask you to support our Louisiana farmers. Well, Supreme Rice has a long history of working with those Louisiana farmers in developing and maintaining sustainable farming practices. And now their Climate Smart program supports farming practices that reduce methane emissions and support water conservation, positively impacting the longevity of rice farming for future generations. So the next time you shop for rice, make it Supreme Rice. For more information and great recipes, go to supremerice.com and look for the Climate Smart logo on Supreme Rice bags coming soon.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from FinBomb. Sushi, burrito, poke, ramen on 1045 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Don't do very much recruiting on this show. This not our corner of the store, but I did want to mention this one because it's interesting, even if you only casually follow recruiting. Michigan quarterback commitment Carter Smith decommitted yesterday. He was the number 3 dual threat passer in the class next year. The decommitment comes as Michigan is doing everything that they can to flip Bryce Underwood, who's been committed to LSU for since January. Is Carter Smith jumping ship on Michigan because they think that they've got something done with Bryce Underwood, or just because he is aggravated that they're recruiting him in the first place, or does he have something else on his mind that has nothing to do with LSU? People I've talked to tell me that Underwood is still solid in his commitment to LSU, is coming on a visit here next weekend for the Alabama game, and will sign with LSU on December the 4th. But Michigan is not giving up. They are coming with everything they got for the number one player in the country. So just thought I'd mention it. It's something to keep an eye on. But the LSU contingent feels like Bryce Underwood is in good shape. But like I said, thought I would mention it. Just something to keep an eye on. Next hour, Matt Humans will be with us.
No word on. We won't know till after the season. We'll get a read on Nussmeier, huh?
Yeah, I don't have a strong read on him. I know that some of the other quarterbacks up at the top, like Quinn Ewers and Jalen Milroe, are sliding a little bit.
Keep him. I mean, more and more and more. The 25, the magic number 25, college starts is being thrown around there more and more.
A lot of things still to be determined. Hour number 2, straight ahead at FINBOMB, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Contact Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, or David Henry to discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 60 years. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards concert tickets for your daughter to see that singer who sings about painful breakups. And one song will inspire your little beauty to break up with that beast she's dating, Brian. Instead, she'll date someone who's nice and worthy of her love, not someone who addresses you and your spouse as, bro. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Halloween's coming alive at Target. Jackie and Gordy, the Jack-O-Lanterns, here with last chance Halloween deals. Looks like Mom's got the old pumpkin bucket stocked with the best candy, starting at $5.99.
Lucky pumpkin bucket. Oh, there's Dad party planning with a same-day delivery order.
Yes, it's a BOGO 50% off pizza party with Target Circle. Plus, buy 3, save 40% on soda 12 packs with Target Circle.
Nice saves, Dad.
Make your Halloween come alive at Target. Need it last minute? Get same-day delivery with Target Circle 360. Restrictions apply.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111 and OCBrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Lofton Staffing Services, 924-0200 and Lofton.jobs. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance. The LSU Alumni Association and the Cook Hotel and Conference Center. For reservations, thecookhotel.com.
I'm at the movies, asking people if they'll switch seats with me for $574.
Here, take mine.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
Too much work.
Not if you call them. They handle the switching.
Now, that's a plot twist.
Shh. Check Allstate first, and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Sounds like wipers. If your wipers are streaking, skipping, chattering, or even worse, loud, you need to visit AutoZone and get some fresh new blades. We've got basic wipers to get you back on the road, as well as premium blades from Bosch and Rain-X. So if you're hearing this, just head to your nearest AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Get spectacular savings during the final days of truck season at Supreme Chevrolet in Gonzales and Supreme Chevrolet West in Plaquemine. Get big savings on Supreme's spectacular selection. Plus, make no payments for 90 days. But you must hurry, as these spectacular savings end really soon. So together, let's drive to Supreme Chevrolet in Gonzales and Supreme Chevrolet West in Plaquemine, or online at supremechevy.com or supremechevroletwest.com.
Hey, it's Hunt. I'll be broadcasting live from Red Stick Sports on SN Friday, November the 1st. It's the 2024 Fall Tent Sale. Incredible deals, 20 to 75% off the entire store. LSU merchandise, 20 to 50% off. See you Friday at Red Stick Sports.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from FINBOMB. Sushi, burrito, poke, ramen on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Here at FINBOMB, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen, right next to the Rouse's over here on Burbank. Charlie does pregame show over at Rouse's. So, a little ramen season right around the corner when it gets a little, happy Halloween. The staff is all decked out over here at FINBOMB today. What's my man, Matt Humans, dressing up as tonight? Huh?
We got one of these
trick or
guys
treating, huh?
We got one of these guys with green hair and a striped suit. It looks like the Incredible Hulk went to jail.
I mean, Humans, they'd offer him a Kit Kat bar. Said, I want a Bud Heavy. Huh? What's up, Humans? How you doing, buddy?
Nobody loves Halloween like I do. I'm going to dress up like James Franklin. I'm going to shave my head, put on glasses, and a blue outfit, and I'm going to big game James Franklin's going to be my outfit for Halloween.
You're going to lose.
but the 12-team playoff, I mean, is there anybody that benefits more from it than James Franklin? If it was the last 10 years, they'd be in the playoff like 6 of the 10. They lose tomorrow. I mean, lose Saturday. They'll still be in the playoff in all likelihood. I mean, who better than this new playoff system does it benefit more than him?
Well, I mean, he's certainly one of those guys who should benefit the most. No doubt about it. If you look at Penn State's schedule so far, it's not bad, but, they got road wins over West Virginia, USC, and Wisconsin. So it's a respectable schedule to this point. But like you said, if the Nittany Lions do what they always do, and that's bully the bad and mediocre teams and lose to Ohio State, they're still going to be a playoff team this year. And that's, like you say, that's why it benefits James Franklin so much. It might end up really benefiting a guy like Lane Kiffin, too, if Ole Miss sneaks in there. Who knows? There's going to be a couple teams sneak in there, I think a lot of people are going to be unhappy about. But that's the thing, when you expand the field, you're going to get a 2. Do you guys think a 3-loss team has a chance to get in?
A 3-loss Georgia, maybe. It would take somebody with, I think Georgia has the best win. We still don't know how good Texas is. I mean, in one true test, they failed miserably. I mean, that schedule, we've been talking about it, back in the summertime. And it really doesn't, there's not a whole lot of other, at A&M. It's a rivalry game, and A&M's going to give them all they can handle. That's kind of a flip of the coin game, but I mean, they can go 10-2 with what's their best win? Michigan?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a scenario where a 3-loss team could get into a conference championship game, and I can't think of one.
but Georgia's so respected, and I mean they if they lose 28-27 in Oxford.
If Georgia had lost at Texas and somehow managed to get themselves in the SEC championship game and lost it, and their 3 losses were at Alabama, at Texas, and in the SEC championship game, that might have worked. But
I think, Matt, I think normally, yes, and I think there will be one. But this year, where is anybody that's in contention? I mean, Indiana, you're going to put a 3-loss team ahead of Indiana with 11-1? You can't do that. I mean, even as light as their schedule's been to this point,
Could you put a 3-loss team out of the SEC ahead of Indiana, because who have the Hoosiers beat? They haven't beat anybody good yet.
No.
You know, we're talking about how Kurt Cignetti is Coach of the Year, and he has done a phenomenal job because Indiana's not just winning. Hoosiers are covering, they're winning big, but you got to beat somebody. They haven't beaten anybody yet, so I don't know. I could kind of see a scenario where a team like Indiana might get screwed.
11-1 Indiana.
Huh?
I think a 10-2. I mean, I think several 10-2 SEC teams get in ahead of 11-1
Let me ask you
Indiana.
this. Let's say Ole Miss has 3 losses. Ole Miss and Indiana play on a neutral field. Who are you going to favor?
Oh, Ole Miss will be favored. I mean, even with Indiana's point spread value ascending weekly because they're 8-0 against the spread too. Even if you had a spread on that directional school that they played earlier, I mean but Ole Miss is, the Ole Miss would be on a neutral 4.5.
Well, let me give you a bigger brand than that. What if Alabama loses to LSU and at 9-3 they played an 11-1 Indiana team?
Yeah, right.
LSU and Indiana would be a little bit closer.
No, Alabama and Indiana. If Alabama lost to LSU or to whatever, in November, if they were 9-3 and Indiana were 11-1 after the regular season.
Oh, well, Alabama would be favored. I don't think they would take a 9-3 Alabama over 11-1 Indiana, though.
I think you're right, but you just said it, and the committee, the people that talk about, they say we're looking for the best, not the most deserving, which scares the hell out of me because their prediction record ain't great.
The chair said they kind of coincide with each other. That they developed there. But Herbstreit was the one, he flat out said, and it was really out of character for him last year. He said, I'm tired of seeing these routes. And let's face it, Florida State would not have provided the competition that Alabama did for Michigan. There's no way. Okay, now there was an injury. That's an extenuating circumstance. But even in, if Jordan Travis is healthy, I mean, Florida State could have played with anybody.
Yeah, it was an easy call if Travis doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, so it's fun. But I thought 9-3 SEC teams would be way more in the hunt. It just hasn't played out that way. Still a month of football to go, Matt. But yeah, I'm a little surprised that just the teams that are up there. How are you going to keep Penn State, Oregon, and Ohio State out? I mean, that's going to be tough to keep them out.
No, and I'll tell you why I think that those extra SEC teams have kind of fallen out of favor. We thought, at least I did, that the ACC and the Big 12 would be one bid leagues. That their champions would get in, and they wouldn't have a strong second. And both of them have a potentially strong second. You could have a 12-1 team out of the Big 12 not win the title. We didn't see that coming. Clemson could be a 11-2 non-ACC champion, and one of the losses is to Georgia and the other one's to Miami. That's a strong second.
I think it's
team.
going to be hard to get a second team from the Big 12. The ACC is lining up though, where it's going to be hard to keep, Miami and Clemson out.
Yeah, because a lot of those teams don't play each other. You could have a 12-1 ACC team, multiple.
Matt, what you think about the multiple teams from the ACC? Deserving, and is it going to happen?
I just think it's unlikely. It's Miami and Clemson obviously have a shot. You look at the Big 12. So, and another thing is in the back rooms, and we know how political this stuff can get. Nobody's got the power even close to what the SEC and the Big 10 have, and that's why Indiana's probably not going to get screwed. But if there were a team similar to Indiana out of the Big 12, I think a team like that would be more likely to get screwed because the Big 12 is not going to have the power that the Big 10 is going to have to get a extra team in there. SEC, Big 10 got a chance to get 4 teams in there. So I don't know. It's a better system than we've ever had in college football. I remember in the 1990s when I wrote a column about how college football should expand to like an 8-team playoff. I can't believe it took us all the way until 2024 to get beyond 4 teams. How did it take this long to get this far? And the question was always, or the answer was always TV and money. I said, yeah, that makes sense because there's going to be more money and better TV ratings. It's going to be better for everybody if you expand the playoff. How did it take so long to realize that?
Well, it was, yes, of course, with more of these meaningful playoff games, you're just going to generate more money. But it was the people controlling the money. Those dudes with those tacky blazers coming into the press box, eating a free media meal. That the money was falling out of their pockets, because they had their, the Rose Bowl and the Sugar Bowl, and and making teams, buy the hotel rooms and stuff like that. Everybody's losing money going to bowl games in the old way.
Well, what about the conference commissioners? If you're going to go back to the 90s when the SEC put the conference championship game in and everybody said they were nuts, and right off the bat, Alabama won the national championship out of that, and then the SEC started making big money. I mean, big money off that game, and they were like, we're not sharing that with anybody, and we're certainly not canceling the game. And I think that's where it started, man.
But Matt, I told Charlie, they run in those spots, best season ever, historical season. Great. Do we need to pat you on the back for doing something 50 years overdue? I mean, my God. Speaking of the big one, 11 a.m., Penn State and Ohio State. Matt, my angle here is, the quarterback and the backup quarterback got some valuable seasoning coming out down in the second half in Madison. He did pretty good. But, man, it's just as simple as the home team in these big games. It's certainly been that way 4 out of 5 times in the big games in the SEC.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be that simple here, but James Franklin finds ways to screw up these big games, and he's lost 7 in a row to Ohio State. He's 1-9. It's a one-sided rivalry here, but I do think Penn State can hang in this game. Last week, I've been watching Ohio State every week, and Buckeyes have gotten off to some slow starts and looked pretty unimpressive at times. Tacked on a couple scores late, and the final score looked more impressive. And everybody seems to be blown away by the Buckeyes. I'm not. So last week they finished with 11 first downs, 285 total yards, only 64 rushing yards, and they needed a fourth quarter rally to beat Nebraska 21-17 in Columbus. Now I know that there's plenty of talent on paper. Will Howard's surrounded by a bunch of playmakers. So the potential is there that Ohio State could explode offensively. You're not seeing it. I think offensive line injuries are a part of it. On the flip side, Penn State's got, like you said, some quarterback questions with Drew Allar, and he's a game-time decision. But I like what I've seen from Bo Pribula, the backup. He had completed 10 straight passes, led 2 touchdown drives. He would undoubtedly be the number 1 quarterback in Michigan right now. He can throw with accuracy, runs well. You got Katron Allen and Nicholas Singleton in the backfield. And this is why I think Franklin hired Andy Koltanecki, the offensive coordinator, away from Kansas. Get more creative offensively, get over the hump in these big games. Hey, look, I'm aware of the risk. I know backing James Franklin in a big game is dangerous. It's risky business. But I did take 3.5 of Penn State here.
Yeah, you also evaluate coaches where they leave and how they're affected. And Jalen Daniels, quarterback for Kansas, has a lot of starts. He has not had his best. He misses him there as well. I'm on Penn State in that one as well. All right, what is Wes Reynolds dressing up for tonight as he goes trick or treating? Is he, does he have
grumpy old man?
Is he wearing a pumpkin? Is his team finally the Fighting Cignettis? Are they finally going to turn into a pumpkin? How much the big emotional win against the best team on their schedule at that point in Nebraska, 56-7, and then all the pomp and circumstance of game day, and they perform and they get it done, even though they were outgained in the game against Washington. It has to reach its point at some point. They have to hit a flat spot. Is it in East Lansing on Saturday?
That's the crazy thing about it. It seems like every team hits a flat spot but Indiana. So I'm thinking the flat spot's going to be in East Lansing this week. Like you said, a couple big games. Hoosiers get up for it. They win. They cover. At what point are they going to have that flat spot? And I think it's going to come this week. And Jonathan Smith at Michigan State's coach is going to have his team well prepared. And I think the Spartans have played well for the most part, in games against in bigger games against Ohio State in the first half. Michigan for a while last week. Oregon on the road for a little while, hung in there. So it's not like the Spartans are going to be some sort of patsy here. I think this number's gotten to the point at 8 where I can take the bait and take the points with the Spartans. And I'm not exactly sure what the Indiana quarterback situation is with Curtis Rourke and Taven Jackson and if Rourke has a chance to come back this week. I don't think he does, but either way, I think this is a game Michigan State should hang in and have a shot to win.
So, people, if you're in Las Vegas and a man comes and says trick or treat, and he's a cigarette smoking, grumpy old man with a red sweater that says Google me, that's Wes Reynolds. So, Washington plus 2.5 against USC. Man, USC's probably, you telling me there would be a 5.5, 6.5 on a neutral field? I don't see it. Both teams are 4-4. Washington actually outgained Indiana on Saturday. They actually outgained Rutgers in that Friday night game that they gave away as well. Washington at home catching 2.5.
Yes, big game too for anybody who bet Washington's win total. It was just sitting at 5.5, and I think if Washington wins this, it'll be 5-4, and still has UCLA on the schedule up in Seattle. So, Will Rogers, veteran quarterback, who SEC fans know well, he's been playing really well this season, but didn't play his best game against Indiana last week. I think Washington steps up and plays much better this spot at home, similar to the way the Huskies played against Michigan a few weeks ago in Seattle. The one thing about Jed Fish, though, leave that fat field goal kicker on the sideline and start being more aggressive when you get across the 40, and that's going to pay off for you. I mean, you're sending out this hapless kicker who just shanks chip shots, and Jed Fish, you got to learn from your mistakes. Stop doing that. We're watching what's the New York Jets week in and week out. They keep trotting Greg the Leg Zuerlein out. He's got no leg anymore. The Jets probably be 4-4 and not 2-6 if they had a kicker. And Washington doesn't have a kicker either. So Jed Fish got to get more aggressive. This USC teams suffered some personnel losses on defense. It just hasn't come together. And Lincoln Riley's teams have been blowing games in the fourth quarter. I don't think this is the play of the week or anything, but I do like the Huskies here. I took 2.5. I was hoping I would get to 3. It never got to 3.
Grady Gross from Scottsdale, Arizona, 11 for 18 on the year. That's number. Get a real kicking number, 95. Come on, Grady. All right, let's move on. Michigan hosting Oregon. Man, that's line, boy. You talk about branding. Well, Michigan's bad. We know that. We talked to Delmar, Matt. You were first one out your mouth. You're going to go Michigan under with all that they lost. I liked it as well. But 14.5 looked to be a little bit big. And I mean, am I getting caught up with the traditional historical branding of Michigan? 14.5 at home against Oregon.
Well, it gets to the point where the numbers inflated to where you feel like you have to take the home dog. And that's what I'm doing here with Michigan. And you hope the defense can keep the Wolverines in it, and I think they probably can. Again, you see some of the West Coast, former Pac-12 teams go hit the road in the Big Ten and play in the Midwest and the East Coast. They have not fared well. And here's a spot where I think you might see a little bit more life out of the Michigan offense. Davis Warren's going to be back at quarterback. They have found ways to use Alex Orji. They did last week in the backfield as a running back because he's a playmaker. So maybe the offense can do enough, but I think the Michigan defense will keep you in this game. And again, it just gets to the point where you're giving Michigan 15 in Ann Arbor. I couldn't turn that down. I had to take that. I thought it was just a little bit too much. I actually made the number 10.5. So, 15. Sometimes they say you're betting teams, not numbers, as a pro. I don't agree with that. I think you're betting numbers and teams. I'm not just going to bet a number if I don't like the team attached to it. And I think Michigan is a home dog. This is kind of disrespectful getting 15, isn't it?
It just seems like it could be a tricky spot. I do think Dylan Gabriel, I think he is getting more and more in sync with his new supporting cast. They look a little bit more buttoned up than they did earlier in the year when he was had an occasional, turnovers and things. So, but this is a little bit of a tricky spot in this one. So we will see. And here's the thing: what's Oregon sweating? I mean, they can afford a trip up, huh? They're still going to make the playoff. So I wonder about that approach as well. Finally, Nevada and Colorado State. This one's in Reno, visiting Rams, favored by 2.5. This is the coach against his old team, huh?
Yeah, it's Jay Norvell coming back to Reno, and actually, Nevada had a couple tough years, but Jeff Choate, who came over from Texas as a co-defensive coordinator, has done a really good job with the Wolfpack team. I was on Hawaii last Saturday night, and I thought that was going to be a really tough spot for the Wolfpack in Honolulu, especially without their dual-threat quarterback, Brendan Lewis, who's key to the offense. Chuba Purdy just can't get it done. The backup quarterback's not that good. I believe Lewis, who was out with, he was in concussion protocol. He's going to be back for this game, I believe. And either way, I'm looking to fade Colorado State without Torrey Horton, best wide receiver. If you look at the Rams, very unimpressive team. And for somehow, basically by playing weak competition, they're still undefeated in the Mountain West. I think the Wolfpack, who played really well at home, been a strong home team this season, bounced back from what happened in Hawaii last week. That game was not as lopsided as the final score, 34-13, indicated. And there were some really bad calls and some bad breaks that went against Nevada in that game. I'm going to go with the home dog here. Took the Wolfpack +2.
Hey, Matt, give us your perspective, the LSU A&M game last Saturday night.
You know what? I didn't watch much of it because I was in Honolulu for the Nevada-Hawaii game. So I actually have not seen the tape of that game. I can't really say much about it.
I mean,
you have a good excuse. I mean,
but I could see, you know, how they do the memes and everybody's creative on social media with the graphics and thing. I could see there's Wes Reynolds in his IU sweater, and he's about to kick, and there's Lucy, you know, or the chair of the committee pulling it away as he tries to kick into the college football playoff. I mean, you know, Wes is just waiting for something bad to happen, isn't he? He's got to be looking over his shoulder.
I mean, typically he's that way, but I mean, it's as long as Hoosiers take care of business and lose to only Ohio State, they're going to get in. Like you said, it's just. There's a fear factor there that a team like Indiana could get bumped without a strength of schedule, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Okay.
And, you know, you need a Cinderella team or two. That's what they're going to, you know, try to prop up for this playoff is a non-power 4 team and some sort of Cinderella type of team like Indiana. But, yeah, if you lose to Michigan State, then you're screwed. You're not going to be in the playoff, right?
Yeah.
So Wes is probably he has been. I know he liked Washington in the points last week. You had him on the show. He might have mentioned that to you. So he's been waiting for the Hoosiers to have a flat spot, and it hasn't happened yet.
Well, in the era of some really head-scratching decisions about some of the players in whatever sport, I mean, Cignetti's team they don't do stupid things. They block, they wrap when they tackle, they rally to the ball, you know, and just don't rely on. I mean, they are, a poster child for being well coached. I mean, they're really, really, really well coached.
Tell me they're not. They got to be selling those Indiana sweaters that Corso had on. Got the Caesar's Palace font to them. I mean, they got to be selling those things all over the place, right?
Right.
All right, Matt.
I know Wes has got them. Wes has got the old Bobby Knight sweater. He's got the whole outfit, no doubt about it.
Oh, the guy is singing Air Supply as he bounces his, through the parking lots of the sports books in Las Vegas right now. Very good. Thank you, Matt. Good luck to you this week.
Okay, you guys too. Thanks.
All right. Don't forget our friends over at Relief Windows, Charlie Relief Windows. I sure wish I'd have known about the gelled windows, the RLS windows from Relief Windows when I had the original construction of my home. You know, you have your homeowners association. If you have the recs where you have to have the, wood windows facing the street throughout the whole house, whatever it is, facing the golf cars, whatever. We got to go to Relief Windows and check out their RLS windows. These wood windows combine the beauty of real wood with high-tech energy efficiency features for all climate zones, especially these extreme southern Louisiana weather conditions. Built by using RLS wood, gel windows come with a 20-year general warranty and a lifetime warranty against rot and termites, providing years of beauty and minimal maintenance. Relief Windows. Give them a call at 230-5652, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, or go online and check out all of their products, windows, doors, siding, and shutters at reliefwindows.com.
Live at FINBOMB, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
I'm at the movies, asking people if they'll switch seats with me for $574.
Here, take mine.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
Too much work.
Not if you call them. They handle the switching.
Now that's a plot twist.
Shh. Check Allstate first, and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Ah, sounds like wipers. If your wipers are streaking, skipping, chattering, or even worse, loud, you need to visit AutoZone and get some fresh new blades. We've got basic wipers to get you back on the road, as well as premium blades from Bosch and Rain-X. So if you're hearing this, just head to your nearest AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, downtown facing Town Square. At Jolie Pearl, we're pretty shucking good. Louisiana Lanyap on Perkins and Bluebonnet, winner of the most 225's Best of Awards. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the North Gates of LSU. FINBOMB, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee. And Phil's Oyster Bar since 1950 on Government Street and now in the South Downs Shopping Center.
In Louisiana, it's not if you're going to need a home standby generator. The question is when. Optimized Generator People are Louisiana's largest and best full-service Generac dealership with 4 locations covering all of South Louisiana from Lake Charles to Slidell. And they only do one thing, home standby Generac generators. Prepare now so you can stop worrying about not having emergency power when you need it. It's optimized. GeneratorPeople.com. GeneratorPeople.com.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge is your new home for the New Orleans Pelicans.
Oh, it blocked from behind by Williamson. Taken by Murphy. Throws it up the floor to Jose. Stop, pop, right corner 3. What a sequence that was.
Visit 1045ESPN.com for a complete list of games you'll hear on 104.5 FM, 104.9 FM, and 98.1 HD2.
Hey, dunks it! Oh, my heavens!
The New Orleans Pelicans are on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Tex Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Trust the experts at Coleman Roofing for all your roofing needs. Our Louisiana-based team offers top-notch roof replacement, expert sheet metal work, and efficient roof repairs. And we're committed to excellence and customer satisfaction. Visit ColemanRoof.com to learn more.
Stabs Prime Steak and Seafood? Stabs Prime Steak and Seafood. Well, I guess along with those sizzling steaks, we do have wood-fired oysters and scallops, beautiful sea bass, fresh Gulf fish and shrimp, and rich Ora King salmon. So yeah, Stabs Prime Steak and Seafood. Jefferson Highway across from Palermo Ristorante. Tell Leo that Kevin sent you. And don't forget, there ain't no cake in that crab cake. Come and see us.
Hi, this is Jake and James of Trash Rangers of Louisiana. Have a question, a problem, call us. We answer the phone. 225-363-9053.
Brandon Holly here. Pick your color, pick your siding. ReliefWindows.com.
Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny from FINBOMB. Sushi, burrito, poke, ramen on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Back here at FINBOMB Live at Lunch. Big college football weekend coming up, even though no LSU this weekend. Tigers take their final bye of the season. Alabama taking it right along with them. Where are you hearing? I get asked. I've been asked a few times this week. Where you think that line will settle in at LSU and Alabama next week? LSU 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
3, maybe 3.5.
Basically, just straight home field. Maybe half a point difference.
No, I give LSU a 5-point home field.
So 1.5.
That's why I think it's closer. It's going to be 3.5. I don't think it'll be below 3. Yeah, man, got to see what the market decides too. I think when we let me see if it's
I just
one of them have it.
there's so few games that Alabama is an underdog in.
Well, this is
and
a
this
different Alabama outfit,
and that's kind of what I was
and not just
to.
that, Charlie, but confidence, just like in stocks, the market. I mean, it's the same thing with the confidence in in football teams. And don't you think that they've had a decline in the consumer confidence in the Alabama football team?
The coach makes a difference.
Well, he makes a difference, but perceived probably makes more.
Yeah, that's where I was
this is what
going
we're
with it.
talking about. These lines are not predictions. These lines are more on perception.
When Alabama was a home underdog to Georgia earlier this year, that was the first time they had been a home underdog
since its first year.
Yeah,
since LSU, 2007.
Since 2007,
Yeah.
which is also the first time. This is the first time that LSU is favored over them anywhere, and
our friends at the Queen have it out right now.
And
I am wrong.
Are you
wrong? Big time wrong.
How?
Tell me how I'm wrong.
I can't imagine that LSU's a much bigger favorite than 3.5. Tell me it's even. Pick them. Go the other way.
When you decide on one, I'll let you know.
Pick them.
We got to go to Kenny White in a second.
Pick them.
Alabama is 1.5.
Wow. Okay.
I'll be all over LSU there. I mean, because it's the home team. It's like I mean, when it came down to, I thought LSU and A&M were pretty damn close. I know one thing. I mean, that's going to be a tough place to play, and it was. I mean, as soon as you gave them a spark, boom. I mean, yeah, momentum's not real. I mean, the LSU Ole Miss, that crowd was a big deal, man. Alabama, Georgia, crowd was a big deal. It took the one SEC, the big time matchup in the big time venue. And no, Tennessee and Arkansas is not, but still that home fit matter. It's just not. Ole Miss, sorry, Lane Kiffin could cry. It says it, really, a shocker. LSU got the primetime game. Well, get out that junior college stadium, okay? And go to a program that's got a bigger time stadium where it's more appealing for the TV station. I mean, you gonna give me points with the home team, which these teams are close. These teams are close. Are they not?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if once we get to Sunday.
I think Georgia is the one that separates itself. And then it's LSU, Ole Miss, Texas A&M. And I'm not sure if Texas I think Georgia's the one that's capable of having a little separation. Do you?
Yeah.
And they're the only one to do it, and they had the damn respect card, but being a underdog for the first time in 50 years. I think it's a great thing for LSU to be underdog at home. They're not playing, so it's done. I mean, that's the line.
I think
now.
after next Sunday, that line corrects. I think it goes back in LSU's direction. I don't know if they necessarily.
Based on what results are we waiting on, Charlie? Both teams have a bye.
That's what I'm saying. I think that once you get into game week, there'll be a little bit of buyback on LSU. If somebody like you thought that LSU was going to be a 3.5-point favorite, and they're actually a 1.5-point dog, don't you think there'll be some buyback?
I mean, you telling me Alabama is 6.5-point favorites on a neutral field?
That's what they're telling.
Alabama team.
That's what they're
That's
telling
what that
you.
says.
But you felt pretty good about that. If the buyback's going to go back the other way,
yeah, I'm giving Alabama a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, putting them at two points on neutral, 1.5, 2. No, I'll be on the Tigers.
Well, we'll see what
it's
Kenny
available
White,
at the Queen right now.
Let's see what Kenny White thinks about it.
All right.
When we come back here at FINBOMB, Sushi Burrito, Poke, Ramen, right next to Rouse's, Burbank and Lee, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Need more space? Workbox LLC has the storage solutions you can count on. Whether you're a homeowner, commercial contractor, or industrial business, we have the space for you. Our secure, versatile storage units are ready to meet your needs. Contractors, keep your site organized and efficient. Store your materials with us and access them anytime you need. Businesses, industries of any size, Workbox LLC is your trusted partner for flexible, safe storage. Workbox 343-4886 and workboxllc.com.
Buying insurance is just part of running a business. Spend more time running that business instead of managing policies and call Highland Insurance Group. They believe your insurance broker should be a trusted part of your team, like your CPA or attorney. Maybe all you know about your current insurance program is that it's expensive. Have Jonathan Carbo and his team come in for a conversation. Whether it's commercial property, auto, employment practices, or cyber coverage, Highland Insurance Group has a market for you. Don't wait until after the storm, accident, or breach to reach out. Do it today. Highland Insurance Group at highlandig.com.
At Lofton, we're in the business of matching hard workers with some of the most sought-after employers in the Baton Rouge area. To Lofton, you're more than just another employee. We care about your interests, and we can help match you with a company that needs your skills. You can complete an application, schedule an interview, and even browse jobs by simply going to lofton.jobs. That's lofton.jobs. We also offer an unlimited $100 referral bonus. At Lofton, we put people to work. Lofton.jobs.
Football season is back, and the best place to watch all the action all season long is at Pluckers. Nicholson, just south of campus, Bluebonnet, right in front of the Mall of Louisiana, with wall-to-wall TVs and award-winning jumbo chicken wings. What more could you possibly want? Pluckers is also a great spot to host your fantasy football draft, with the commissioner getting a gift card when you schedule in advance. Make sure Pluckers is part of your game day plans every game day all season long. Pluckers, if you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Bow and waterfowl season is open, and Southern Outfitters is your one-stop shop. Fully stocked with decoys, full-service bow repair, and sales. Tree stands, hang-ons, and hunting apparel for the entire family. Visit Southern Outfitters in Zachary and at southernoutfittersla.com.
That was one hell of a game, huh?
Head to 104.5 ESPN's YouTube channel for Whiskey and Wine with Moscona and T-Bob. Coming at you live and rowdy from Don Juan Cigar Bar all season long, immediately after the game. Sponsored by Godlid and Home Fields Apparel.
The Grand Bayou Casino, conveniently located off I-10 at exit 139 in Gross Ted, offers the latest video poker machines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Got a great staff at the Grand Bayou Casino. Our inviting staff will greet you with complimentary coffee and sodas as you enjoy listening to the curated tunes in our comfortable seating. Make the trip to the Grand Bayou Casino, where players are welcome. The Grand Bayou Casino, I-10 at the Gross Ted exit. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-877-770-STOP. The Grand Bayou Casino.
WCK Foundation Repair, locally owned and operated, has been in business over 25 years. Engineers agree WCK uses the best repair method for Louisiana's unique soil conditions. Rely on WCK to provide a solid standard with friendly local professionals. Interest-free financing available. WCK Foundation Repair.
WCK Foundation Repair. WCK, a leader among peers. WCK.
I'm here with former Tiger and attorney Chris Barrett.
Gordy, one area of the game often overlooked is special teams. Having the best special teams players can often be the difference between victory and defeat.
Now, Chris, how does this relate to hiring the right attorney?
Just like on the football field, you want an attorney who has the special skills and experience to obtain victory. For more than 20 years, I've been fighting for my clients in courtrooms all across Louisiana. Whether you've been injured in an accident or arrested and need to defend your rights, you want a Tiger on your team.
Chris, how can people find you?
Call me, attorney Chris Barrett, the law offices of O.C. Brown in Baton Rouge, 343-1111.
343-1111.
I like filing 231-6026.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from FINBOMB. Sushi, burrito, poke, ramen on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Time to hook it up with Kenny White, KennyWhiteSports.com, and Kenny brings the valuable perspective of all that history of running books and setting the lines for Las Vegas' biggest casinos. Now he's on the other side of the counter, helping the bettors beat the books. Kenny, how you doing today, buddy?
Hey, Jimmy, doing great. Busy as can be, obviously getting ready for college basketball. I'm looking forward to that. I'm so excited. There's more parity in college football now than there ever has been. And I think there's more parity in college basketball. Going through a lot of the teams I have rated already this year, I feel like there's one of 30 teams that could win the national championship this year. So I think there'll be a lot of good future bets out there. And I'm looking for some now for college. Probably have a little more time this weekend, but I think there'll be some really good teams to maybe take a look at in college football.
Did you have a chance to look at Will Wade's McNeese State Cowboys?
Oh my gosh, I could not believe how high I had them rated. Yeah. I think I have them in my top 40. They're amazing basketball team. They got so much talent there. I was shocked. I thought it was a mistake when I was looking through my ratings last night. I said, wait a minute. This team's that good? And I had to go back and look. Yeah, Will Wade has got that team playing press up tempo, full court basketball like they like it in Louisiana.
Alabama is going to be as good as anybody. They get everybody back. They add some valuable pieces, a valuable run to the Final Four, the first ever. McNeese State, 2 days after LSU plays Alabama here at Tiger Stadium, McNeese State's playing Alabama in Coleman Coliseum.
They may score some points in it.
They may.
They may.
Hey,
yeah, they may.
And I was completely wrong, Kenny, because I thought, okay, the halves in college football, not only do they have, the come play at the highest level, and it's going to better sell you for the pros, better prepare you, all the resources, the better coaching and things like that. And then you add on the payroll as well. It's only going to separate the haves from have-nots. Not exactly. It is, it's turned into college basketball to a degree. Hey, let's go to the Big Ten and get to your picks. At what point the Fighting Signetti is going to reach a little bit of a flat spot? I mean, Nebraska came in at 5-1. They destroy them by 50. And then they got all the pomp and circumstance, and, well, they take care of business without the distractions. Sometimes when game day comes to an unfamiliar setting, it can kind of be more of a distracting element than sort of a motivational element. Signetti's team, though, is really, really tough. They take care of business, win, and cover easily. Is this the flat spot when they go to East Lansing this Saturday?
I'm sure hoping it is. I don't need it to be. I really don't think I need it to be. But when you're giving me this many points with a Michigan State team. Now, Signetti, he's in his first year, but so is Jonathan Smith at Michigan State. And I think Jonathan Smith has been at a better upbringing in the college ranks, learning under Chris Peterson. Chris Peterson was one of the best coaches of all time in college football. And Jonathan Smith was with him for 16 years and then got the job at Oregon State. And he turned around a horrible program. And that Michigan State, the cupboard isn't bare. They weren't great, but it's not going to be long before Michigan State's being talked about as a top 10 team because they've got the recruiting land in their area. When they get kids from Ohio and Pennsylvania, and he's just going to bring in the best players from Illinois and all over that region. Michigan State's going to be a powerhouse, and I think they're getting better. So I don't think I need that factor that you mentioned, but I do believe it can happen. I believe it can happen. The quarterback for Michigan State, Aiden Childs, this is a 5-star kid that he didn't work out at Oregon State like they thought. He followed his coach to Michigan State. He's been turnover prone, 9 turnovers already this year, interceptions, but only 2 or 1. I think he's won the last 3 games. He's thrown 1, and that's against Oregon, Iowa, and Michigan. All 3 are really good defenses. So I think he's turned a corner in the turnover bug. They take care of the football in this game. Michigan State has enough talent to win this game on their own laurels, but you're right. Indiana is ready to have that letdown, and it could be the fact that Rourke didn't play last week. They went to the second stringer Jackson, who did a really good job, and now Rourke's back. They may just go, take that exhale, and if they do, they're going to be in trouble this weekend.
All right, let's move on. Oklahoma State and Arizona State. Oklahoma State started out 3-0. They've lost their last 5 in a row. Some tough ones. Man, Ollie Gordon fumbling at the 1 yard in Waco was a big turnaround. 3 plays later, Bailey went 99 yards for a touchdown drive. And, man, it was they lose by 10 and fail to cover. Here comes Arizona State, and you got a youngest coach in college football, man. He's got his team at 5-2. He's done a good job there. We're looking at the Pokes, though, at home, not ready to quit and Gundy's got that long, 18, 19 years in a row winning seasons in Stillwater.
Yeah, 18 in a row in Stillwater, making a bowl. So with 5 losses, there's not much room for any error here. And you mentioned the bad luck against Baylor. They also, I think, they had a little bad luck against BYU in a game that they should have won. So this very easily could be the Utah game was a game that they should have won. This team very easily could be 6-2 right now. But staring at that 5-3, they got their backs to the wall. I really think it's such a must win that we get a great performance out of them. And this line has moved because it went up on Arizona State because Sam Levitt's back, and Ollie Gordon was questionable for the game, but he's going to play. And I just think they have a better team. Mike, I know they have a better coach. I know at the beginning of the year, if I made this line at the beginning of the year, I got probably a 14-point favorite, Oklahoma State by 14. I've still got them 7 here solid in this game, and I think they should be the favorite, and we're getting points. It's just a big win. I'm not giving up on them. Even if they lose this one, I'm probably not giving up on them because they still could go 6-6, and that's a big thing, getting that bowl game for them. So I think they get the W, though, here in this game.
Oklahoma State +3 at home. A couple of 5-3 teams in the Big Ten playing on prime time on NBC. Wisconsin and Iowa, home team, favored by 3. Here, the Hawkeyes in Iowa City. The other thing, too, Kenny, man, the Hawkeyes are an over team this year, huh? The total is at 4.5. I know you like the home team, though, in the side, Iowa -3.
Yeah, 7-1 to the over this year, and that's kind of shocking. But that again, we go back to the totals and how low they are, because you look at games where the first game of the year they won 40-0. I had over there too. They went over. The total was like 37.5. The next week against Iowa State, it was 33 or 34, and they scored 39 points. Just got over the total. The Minnesota game only came 45, and it went over. But the last 2 weeks, they were playing in the 50s against Washington, Michigan State, and Northwestern. And I do like this total over. I did make it 45.5. But I like Kirk Ferentz's team. Always been one of my coaches that I really follow, and I always overrate his players. And I'm glad I do, because he covers and wins money for me. And he's 85-66 ATS at home, so plus 13 units. And that's only about I believe the last 15 years, about somewhere in that. I think I have numbers for him. Well, I think a big part of this game is Brendan Sullivan came in last week, the quarterback, and I believe he's going to be the starter this week. He's a Northwestern transfer. He's more of a dual threat guy, and he looked very good doing it. Wisconsin played Penn State last week, and their quarterback Aller was hurt, and they went to their second stringer, and he's more of a dual threat. And he looked good against Wisconsin. They didn't have an answer for him. So Brandon Sullivan may be the right guy to turn to at the right time for Iowa to give them a spark and what they need right now. But you're right, both teams 5-3. Both teams need a win for bowl eligibility. So they're going to play hard. We're going up against a good coach in Luke Fickell. But I think Iowa's home field is the difference in this game. I have these teams rated very equal. But I thought this line should be more like 6.5.
All right, so Iowa -3 at home. All right, for the NFL, let's go to the Sunday night game, Minnesota and the Colts, and all of the attention on a quarterback switch from Richardson to Flacco. But man, the Colts got a couple of impact players, and we've seen Jonathan Taylor, make an impact being in and out of the lineup. But DeForest Buckner, he was destroying the protection for the Houston Texans on Sunday as well. He was big. Those three. So Flacco, I mean, we'll see down the future, but it's no brainer. Flacco gives him a better chance to compete right now. And then Buckner and Taylor healthy as well. That's the most impactful guys on this Colts roster. Colts catching 5.5 Sunday night against Minnesota.
Yeah, I don't even need to break it down any further than that. You did a great job, Jimmy. That's a lot of my thinking in this game. I'm very surprised that the number is as high as it is. This Colts team's covered 5 of their last 6 games. They are playing well, and they're 4-2 straight up the last 6 games. So it's a team that's playing. They had a good chance to win last week's game as well. And the 2 games they've lost out of that run are by 3 points. And when they lost early in the year, they lost by 2 to the Texans and by 6 to the Packers. That's the worst loss this team has had. They've been very competitive in their losses. They've been great in their wins. And I like their balance offensively and defensively. And the coach has been good on the road. He's 7-5 ATS in his 1+ year, covering spreads away. The other side, Kevin O'Connell, I thought this team I had them rated very low to begin the year. And they had 3 really dynamite games to start the year. And sometimes it's not who you play, it's when you play them. I think they caught the 49ers at the perfect time. And the 49ers turned it over in a couple of failed 4th down conversions, which do not show up in the box score as turnovers. But the Minnesota Vikings got all of the breaks in that game, and they won 20-13. I think they caught Houston by surprise in that week. And they beat Green Bay without Love, and they beat the Jets team that was all beat up. And then they played tough against the Lions, but they finally met their match and lost. And then they lost last Thursday to the Rams. Their last 4 games, I have all 4 games, their performance rating under the average NFL team. So I feel good where my rating's at with them right now. I've got these 2 teams rated very equally, and small home field for 2.5 points. Home teams just don't cover as much as they used to because of the new rule changes years ago that coaches don't lose their challenges when they're right, which they shouldn't. I could never understand that, Jimmy. When a coach would challenge a call that was a horrible call on the field, they would challenge it, they would win it, but they would lose their challenge. I mean, you didn't get another one. Now they do. If they challenge it, they don't lose that challenge call. And I think that's, home field, I've done a study on it. All home field is how loud the crowd can get to dictate the officials into calling more penalties against the visitors. Plus the visitors will get some more false starts and they'll benefit a little bit from that. But they don't get those benefits as much anymore. And that's why the visitors have really kind of equaled things out. Home field advantage in the NFL has really gone down from the point where it was worth 3 points to 2.5. Now it's down to about 1 point is all it's worth.
There you go. Follow Kenny White, KennyWhiteSports.com. I love being on his VIP text string where you get all of the plays and, props as well. Kenny, anything else before we let you go?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. I was going to ask you how you're enjoying it, if you like the club, if you think there's value to it, and I'll keep the same promo code. Anybody from Louisiana, use Louisiana as the promo code, get $50 off. It costs you $100 to try it out for 1 month. You're going to get 200 plays. That's 50 cents a play you'll get from us. And they're all the plays, Jimmy, are from guys that bet their own money.
There you go. Kenny, great stuff, man. Good luck this weekend. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you. You too, Jimmy. Have a good weekend. Thanks for having me.
Take our final time out here at FINBOMB Sushi Burrito Poke Ramen, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Thibodeau store and the Pierre Part store. You're looking to make some home improvements. You got some repairs that need to be done. Maybe it's something as simple as painting. Let them help you out with that. Maybe you want to lay a little concrete, do a little cabinet work, put in a light, whatever it is. If you don't know how to do it, let the experts at the Thibodeau store and the Pierre Port store walk you through it. It's a lot easier than dealing with a YouTube video. There's somebody you can actually ask. They'll take you through the project step by step. Going to make sure you're not wasting time. Going to make sure you're not wasting money on unneeded supplies. If you need electrical supplies, plumbing supplies, power tools, hand tools, so much to select from at the Thibodeau store. And if you're going down fishing to the coast, huge supply of fishing equipment, plus big selection of grills, big green egg cookers, Cypress furniture, crawfish and jambalaya pots. They've got it all at the Thibodeau store. 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau. In Pierreport, they just celebrated their 113th anniversary last Saturday. So they've been around for a while. They know what they're doing. The Pierreport store and the Thibodeau store, and online at thibodeaustore.com.
Sid Edwards wants your vote, but his voting record? Pure hypocrisy. He skipped voting in 2017.
Promo when you're ready.
It's rolling.
This is Charles Hanagriff. Join us for the Friday edition of Live at Lunch. Lock of the Week Friday presented by Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investment starts at 10 a.m. from Rufino's with Richard Dixon, followed by Bruce Marshall and Troy Macker. Live at Lunch at 10 a.m. Friday from Rufino's on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Since 1971, Snow's has been serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soups, salads, specialty cocktails, great wine selection, and oh yes, the best white chocolate bread pudding that you'll find anywhere. It's the total dining experience. Happy 50th anniversary to my friends at Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales.
Well, why don't you just come right out and say it?
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the Jim's Firearms.net hotline at 499-1045.
Say what?
Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the Jim's Firearms.net hotline. Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air. Find our app in the Apple or Google Play Store. For direct links, visit 1045ESPN.com.
Sparked by imagination, creativity is fueled by the arts. Shell's mission is to make communities where we do business better places to live. By supporting the arts up and down the river, Shell is helping creativity thrive. From the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival to the Arts Council of Greater Baton Rouge and the LaFond Performing Arts Center in St. Charles Parish, Shell is the rhythm of Louisiana.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Dozy Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze. For the perfect blend of sweet and spicy, you can't go wrong also with the flash-fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from FINBOMB. Sushi, burrito, poke, ramen on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Yeah, I was thinking about this when Kenny White made his pick with Iowa. 2 most inefficient units a year ago. Iowa offense, LSU defense. He said, hey, just get respectable on the other side of the ball, right? Iowa went from 132 in scoring offense out of 133 to 56 this year. LSU total defense from 108 to 63. So I think both of them made positive moves.
LaFerence would be keeping his job with that ultimatum last year, 25 points a game.
Yeah, they're
29 a
29.
game.
That's about roughly
through 8 games.
Yeah,
So, you know,
roughly twice what Florida State's scoring. We figured that, right?
Wow.
Going into the season, I was going to score twice as many points a game as Florida State. I don't think so, but that's truth is stranger than fiction.
1-7 and the 1 win is, you know, they got outgained. 14-9 against Cal.
Yeah.
Cal had,
30?
you know,
when they get like 14-9 or
Just
something.
14-9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks to the folks here at FINBOMB. Poke, sushi burrito, ramen, right here next to Rouse's, Burbank at Lee. Tomorrow, we are at Ruffino's. We're starting at 10 o'clock with Log of the Week Friday presented by Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments. From Ruffino's, we'll talk to you then. From all of us here at FINBOMB, Jordan Kinch is back in the studio. I'm Charles Hanagriff saying thank you and good afternoon. Stay tuned for Hunt Palmer on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Lunch.
Make LeBear's Baton Rouge your game day headquarters this season.
All right, see you guys.
Thank you, Jordan. Appreciate it.
At ESPN Bet in person. Plus, sign up today for Cover 5's SEC contest. Go to the Cover 5 app, click on Join a League, and enter the code LABR SEC24. Pick